And just like that, we're going Mavs.
We are back.
How are you're loud enough. I don't even need to bring the mic in.
We are back.
How are you?
Beautiful, man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
I was telling a story right before on the intro here that Saturday night I was having troubles.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of guy you are, you come to the rink, help me out.
Oh, that was my first time in the rink in 7 months. But of course, I mean, us old sports streamers, we got to get together and make sure things are working. And it didn't succeed, but you got it fixed though, right?
No, well, here's the thing. I got another funny story before I start
Okay.
asking you questions. So yesterday, I'm in BMO,
Mm-hmm.
figuring it out. I'm frustrated, probably in there for like an hour. You know, I've been in there for probably like a week, maybe 2 weeks now, trying to figure this out. I'm in the room, trying to figure it out. And I'm in back where like the sledge hockey room is. You know that
Yep.
rink, eh? Back there. So there's a gentleman back there in a wheelchair fixing the gear up for the kids to start up this. I think the gentleman said it started this week. So it's me and this gentleman in this room. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm frustrated, but I'm really trying hard not to show it. Like I'm just trying to keep, be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally get it. And I don't like jump for joy, but like I show my expression.
Yeah.
And I go to this guy. I go, "Excuse me, sir. I don't know you. You're a complete stranger, but I have to express to you how happy I am right now." And I just go to him. I've been trying to get this for 2.5 weeks, and I finally got it. Never give up. And he looks at me and he goes, "Hell yeah, never give up."
Beautiful.
And we had like a moment right there in the room, just me and this stranger. It was awesome.
Excellent.
It was
man.
unreal.
You defeated technology.
Oh man.
So human race 3, technology 785.
What are you talking about?
No,
What's
it's
that?
just the war against tech, because we had our mishap with tech this week
Uh-oh.
with a special guest.
Can you say it yet or no?
We'll
Okay.
we'll put it over.
Okay.
So we had Rick Bonus on it's going to be on Saturday night's hockey game on QMJHL, Friday night hockey special edition. Anytime it's not on Friday, we call it a special edition.
Yeah.
We're going to have him on the whole intermission. So we lined him up on Wednesday, came on Zoom. It was my first interview back in the studio using the Zoom computer.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to Chris Larson and Ioma's puck.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the puck in a second.
Okay.
So Kenzie's showing me how things are going. Now, again, Scott McRae, Morgan Jessam,
Yeah.
our two producers.
Yeah.
They're out shooting. So the technical people are away. And it's Kenzie and I, and she's trying to lead me, and I'm frazzled trying to figure out Zoom
Yeah.
on the computer for the first time, because I'm used to my own. I'm stuck in my own ways. I'm
Yeah.
stubborn like my grandmother.
Yeah.
So she says, "All right, so Rick's pinned, and this is record," and she left, and I have headphones on,
Yeah.
and I'm waiting to start the interview. She goes over, she hits record on the camera, and I say, "Is this recording?" She goes, "Well, yeah." And I meant the computer. She thought I meant the camera. And then we go 20 minutes. And I'm telling you, it was a solid 20 minutes. It was a fantastic 20 minutes. And we wrap up, and Kenzie shows me how to find the files afterwards.
Yeah.
And all I see is her interviews from the morning.
Like my stomach sinks for you right now.
Yeah. And she says, "You hit record, right?" I said, "I thought you did." She said, "No, I thought you did." So at that point, text back to Bonus, say something happened there was a mishap on the computer. Is there any way you can do it again? And I'm telling you, the phone.
How
I
nervous
put
are
it
you to
down.
text him that though?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but in
Yeah.
my head I'm thinking, okay, he's in the show he's been coaching since I was born, 82.
Yeah.
This has had to happen to him before. And again, off the conversation we had, he's such a genuine, nice guy that I think he's going to be a bit forgiving on it. And hopefully he has the time. Hopefully. If not, we'll figure something out. We'll make it work some other way.
Yeah.
I laid down the fetal position. Kenzie was on the edge of the set. We had the phone out on the floor. We were basically holding a seance over it, sending good vibes for a text back. It took about half hour, and then Rick came back and said, "Okay, we'll do it tomorrow." And so yesterday we were in the studio, and we had Rick Bonus I had him for 20 minutes. So that's going to be every intermission, Saturday's game with the Sea Dogs and Mooseheads. But, oh, yeah. And again, he knows the spots. He knows what questions are coming. So we go with that. But, so technology got us there. But now I know how to pin down the guest, and hit record.
Yeah.
Kenzie stayed with me all the whole time as well on the re-interview.
Yeah.
And we had a moment where we thought that the Zoom didn't capture the audio.
Yeah.
And it took a couple minutes for the audio to load after the second time. So again, the stress was there, Justin. The stress. And I'm pacing, and the Bluetooth thing wasn't working, so we were getting his audio from the laptop, and Kenzie saying, "Well, I heard it in the headphones, so you'll be able to maybe mix and make."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it. We'll salvage it.
Yeah.
But then the audio, and it's great. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss on Saturday, QMJHL Friday Night Hockey Special Edition, because it's on Saturday and it's still called Friday.
Oh man.
But we got 2 games this week too. But
Do you?
yeah, the Islanders are in town, and then we've got the only games in the queue.
Yeah, I
man.
know. I'm scared, not terrified, but like I'm worried if the Maritime somehow shuts down, other things are going to shut down. So I'm just like, but they said they're going to go ahead with it,
Well, it's a good precedent set.
Yeah.
As we saw, okay, so a lot of teams in Quebec got shut down, and I like them saying we're gonna take a break. We just need to ride this out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
See where we're at. The Maritimes is fine, except for Moncton, who's kind of iffy. Let's just keep them playing. That's why there's the bubbles. That's why and you just keep the guys on the ice. That's why they started early. They got some grace time to play with it. But
Yeah.
we still have hockey. Fingers crossed we keep this going. And maybe an AUS, I mean, the U Sports announced a lot of national championships are scrapped.
Yeah, I
They
knew
announced
that.
that yesterday.
And the
but-
seasons too, aren't they?
Yeah, but Atlantic University Sport, because of how good the bubble's been here in the Maritimes,
Yeah.
they're looking to see if they can actually play some stuff.
Ooh.
They're working on
I didn't
that.
hear
They're going to be meeting on that. So hopefully some stuff comes out of there. So that's a testament to our bubble. I mean,
I think it's a
that's-
testament to the people.
Yes, big time.
Like the bubble, sure, but
Big
like the
time.
people in here that are willing to like cooperate and work together and get ahead.
Mhm.
Like just talk about the people from here that are just agreeing. It seems like other parts, everyone's disagreeing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Everyone's here like, okay, let's be a team. Let's go. Let's work. Let's get ahead.
Let's
And
try-
look at us. We're doing fine.
Let's try to let's knock on
Yeah, knock
on
on
this
wood.
fine wood.
I don't know if this is
table.
real wood, but yeah.
Oh, it's
I don't
great.
know, yeah.
That's the trick, man. We're knocking on it anyways. Let's keep coronavirus at bay. Yeah.
But every day I'm up, as soon as I wake up, I'm on Twitter just looking at like Willie Paloff or someone just, all right, what are you saying today? What's going on? What's going on?
Well, that was and that was the fear, and it still is a fear. It's like, okay, so if the
Every
Q,
day's a fear, yeah.
Q shuts down, where do we go at that point? Because it's been a long process to get us into the rinks, from a corporate standpoint, from a production standpoint, from a safety point. It's all safety. I get it. It's
Mhm.
tough.
Mhm.
Things are going up to our CEO to be signed off on.
Oh, really?
So it's at that level. But again, this is high level stuff. So there has to be some responsibility to it. I get that.
Yeah.
But then you say, okay, Scotiabank Center 200, and the 2 racetracks are the only venues that are allowing fans of mass capacities.
Yeah.
And now I know there's some talk that minor hockey's getting parents back in the stands, stuff like that. But how do
Yeah.
we fit into that is also kind of a fear.
Yeah.
I put it in the hands of those. I ask questions.
Yeah.
I ask questions and look for answers. And that's in my interviews and also up with the other guys. They'll give us the answers and we'll go with that.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's almost because it's at the point right now. Like if you're almost breaking a rule, it could be a lawsuit by the government. Like you gotta cover your tracks.
Yeah.
You gotta ask permission. You have to. I wrote like the rule of thumb with this company at the very beginning when no one knew who we were was just do it. And if someone says no, then just don't do it. Don't ask questions. Just go. And right now it's the complete opposite. It's like ask. Because if you don't, who knows? You could get a letter in the mail. You gotta make sure everything's fine.
It's a full on shoot, brother. It's not a work. Right, Moffat? Right, Moffat? Mark Moffat is with us. My God. I double M. You brought him in, man. This is good to see.
He forced his way in. I love it
yeah.
though. I
Good.
respect the work ethic.
I like that he forced his way in
That's what you gotta do.
because I gave him that little chat before to say get yourself in the building, man. You've got to work. You can't just wait for it to come to you. You got to go after it.
I remember that.
And my guy, he's getting after it. He's getting after it, man.
That's what you got to do. You got to get after it.
Yep.
I remember you sent me emails like maybe like a year before you started here, and we get tons of emails. So no offense, but it's just like another one in the mix. But then you come out with this other email. You're like, no, I got some backup with me. I want to come into your company, and you didn't ask. You told me, and that's what I respect. You got to tell someone, no, here's what I can do. Here's what I'm going to offer you. Let's go. That's what you got to do.
Yep.
Especially in this industry, especially in Nova Scotia, because the positions in this province are very slim. You're looking at 2 of them or 3 of them now.
Make your opportunities and make the most of your minutes, as the American dream. That's the road, used to say, brother.
Attaboy, Mark. All right, man. So what's up? I didn't even ask you a question yet. We're just rambling about our lives.
We're just going off, man. You know what? It's it's been a while. It's been a stretch, as I say. Like, we talked about how not being in the rink. This was the first week for me in the studio. Everything was done basically at home for the longest time.
How's that? Was that frustrating for you?
A little frustrating, but also kind of fun to be able to do stuff on green screen and be able to make things happen that way. But to get back and collaborating with some folks as well is good.
Did you learn anything about the business while you were working at home? Anything that maybe you didn't know in the past? Like, did you know how to work a green in the past? Green screen?
I kind of had an idea of how to do it.
Yeah.
But then it was a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
And using, finding programs, finding software.
Yeah.
Working things out.
Yeah.
Being like, wow, that actually looked good. I mean, there was one retro game. I was on the set of Seinfeld. I was in the Seinfeld department for a
what
to throw it. Yeah.
Oh,
the green screen.
Okay,
green screen.
Okay, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, I did that, and then they're like, Mavs, please don't ever do that again. I'm like, all right, well. Got on there once.
There you go. Yeah, that's the set.
Exactly.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
I watched so much Seinfeld over this break. Seinfeld and Curb. Got a Crave account, or I got my buddy's Crave account, and I just sat down here.
I put this down on the table, and Justin threw out the coaster.
You gotta respect wood.
You have to respect wood. Now it's wood. Now you weren't sure. You weren't sure before. Now it's wood.
It's like
it's wood.
No, it's not. You know what it is? It's this stuff underneath it.
You got to respect wood.
You got to respect wood.
You got to respect wood.
This is probably one of the nicest things I've ever owned, so I got to respect the things that we have. That's the one thing I love about the company and growing something is the more things that you acquire, the more cameras you acquire, the more you respect them and take care of them. I remember like when I got things from my parents when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, thanks, but wouldn't really treat it with respect. The amount of respect I treat everything around here is ridiculous because it's yours. You want to make sure it looks good. You want to make sure it sounds good. You want to make sure everything looks good. Like, you notice how like everything's nice and neat here. Like it's just very attention to detail, I find, as soon as you put your own money into things.
You got into
know what I mean?
You got into the gear collection.
It's addicting. I don't like it.
You got that itch.
It's addicting and it's not good for my bank account.
Yep. No, I look at like a DSLR. I'm like, oh, if I get that ultra wide lens, that's gonna take things up a notch for sure. And it's I need to save up, get my ultra wide lens to go with my other DSLRs again. They're awesome.
Yeah.
But the moment you get one, it's like, well, I need to get a new lens and another lens and another lens and then
a better mic.
Yes.
And then a better one. Yeah.
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 And as we're the two of us.
Yeah.
And Moffat as well. Moffat, you got you got a gear collection going on now too, right?
Yeah. That's his camera right there, dead center.
Yeah. This is exactly. It's all, and you might have a piece of gear in the kit for like a year. You never use it.
Yeah.
And then you break it out once. And it's essential for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
It's like my road mic. It's wild.
I learned that lesson the hard way. I remember when we started the podcast, I sold a couple microphones because like, hey, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then a week later, I was like, why did I sell those? I should keep doing it. Like we had like a couple month ban where we didn't do it. And I was like, well, you're an idiot, Justin. You kept the stuff. Always keep it. You never know. You never know.
It's always good to have.
Always good to have.
But
I enjoy it.
Good.
No, it's fun. It's a good business.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. Like that bonus story you're telling me, it's like, yeah, it sucked when it didn't happen, but how rewarding is it this weekend when you get to air that to your fans? It
felt good. It felt good. And again, as I talked about with Chris Larson was the guy that kind of hooked us up because him through the Maritime NHLers for Kids.
Yeah.
So that was the connection. So I emailed the Stars, nothing back from them, and then Chris. So I have to ensure that I get him his puck. From
what do you mean by this?
So this is World Juniors 2003 when it was here.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple of us ran into Chris and Derek Martin, when we were down at Memorial Cup. We ran into each other Pizza Corner, and we started talking about the legacy of these sports pieces, just chatting, just seeing how things are going. And I mentioned how John Hanna at Riverview for Red Cup. It was the big high school hockey tournament. And again, this is 2019. The kids
Okay.
were all using the hockey pucks from the World Junior Championship in 03. There was so many hockey pucks left over from World Juniors that they were using them as practice pucks.
No
and I
way.
mean, like hold on.
From 2003?
This I got it here. I knew this was good. Yeah. So that's Larson's. So the World Junior Championship. So all the kids out there are firing around the World Junior pucks, and I get talking.
Wow,
I bring that up to Larson as a legacy piece.
Yeah.
For all these sporting events. Like there's going to be kids 15 years from now using Memorial Cup pucks from here because there's going to be so many left over or stuff like that.
Wow.
Larson says, can you get me some of those? Because I chatted with Gord Miller, and he collects the World Junior pucks from every one that he calls. He didn't get this one. This was the one he was missing. So I send an email to Hannah. Mom goes to Riverview, picks up a couple pucks. So there was 3. We got 3. This one's for Chris, right there. Chris, there's your puck. It's coming to you. I got one at home, and another one I emailed to Gord Miller to say, I hear you're still looking for the 2003 World Junior Hockey Championship puck. I'll send one in the mail. And by the way, what's the location on that puck?
That's incredible.
What's the location?
Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Canada.
That's right.
Yep.
That's not Halifax. That's Cape Breton, baby.
They put it first.
Yep. Those are the Cape Breton pucks.
That's
So,
incredible.
Yep.
That's a crazy story.
So that's, again, and Larson's been after me for the last year for me to get him his puck. So now I gotta track him down and make sure he gets his World Junior puck.
Made in Slovakia.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's I wonder how many pucks they make for the tournament.
oh,
Like if they have some like 2003 to 2019, you said
Yeah.
like holy
yeah,
smokes.
and that was the thing. And Hannah said that's the last of them. We're finally getting rid of them. That's the last bit of them. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, and again, but that goes to that legacy piece that when you have sporting events and sport tourism come to a city,
Yeah.
things are always left behind to be a legacy of the event, but also enrich the local sports community. I mean, if IIHF, if they're going to leave 10,000 hockey pucks or however many, I'm just pulling a number over the air.
Yeah.
That's 10,000 hockey pucks that minor hockey doesn't have to purchase, and they could put that money to something else.
I never thought about that from that perspective. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the Larson puck story.
That's cool.
And again, that's everything intertwined to make sure that happens. So
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
good story. Dudes is a big puck collector too. We'll love that story.
Nice.
That's great. And it'll be interesting to see from the Mem Cup, like 10 years down the road. What's left behind, what's here.
Yeah, and like Mem Cup, they've got stickers on the pucks for every game. It's like,
yeah,
this
team
is
versus team.
yeah,
Yeah,
this is like
yeah.
Halifax versus Prince
Yeah.
Albert. So I hope Dudes was
That's
able.
cool.
I hope Dudes was able to collect them all.
It probably was. He was probably sniffing down there getting something.
No way. No way.
That was such a fun time. Every time you or Kenzie comes on, we talk about the Mem Cup. Great
Yeah.
time. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Just simple times.
Oh yeah.
Just going to the media booth, getting some dinner, some great food too. And then you go up and watch world-class hockey in the press box. Oh, man. I was on cloud nine.
Exactly.
Cloud
Yeah.
nine.
We need more events like that back. We need this COVID thing to go away, and we need to get back to
I know.
what we do, man.
I know. My patience is running out. I'm still having it, but
Mhm.
when the numbers are spiking up again, I'm just that's where it kind of
Mm.
mechs your psyche. You're just like, come on, guys, relax,
Yeah. Well, it's
relax, COVID, relax.
It's what you hear. Oh my God, Moncton Costco has been affected. Oh God, the whole Maritimes is going to go down. Like, yeah, okay, the Moncton Costco is the mecca of commerce for the Maritimes. That's where because of the breakout there,
Yeah.
we're all done. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
got it.
exactly.
It's under control. Yeah.
I have no idea. It's crazy times. Every time I walk into the rink, I just see like not fear, but just you see the eyes going. You're like, all right, who's not following the rules? Who's not following the rules? Every time I walk in, it's a different scene. Especially when I have equipment. They're like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm just like, relax, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm following the rules.
Follow the protocol.
I'm following the
Follow
protocol. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I can go on a rant right now about parents, but I won't do it.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna put him over. Logan Delaney, on our broadcasts.
Yeah.
He's doing color with us in Halifax.
Yeah.
You got to have him on, and you got to get him going about hockey parents.
All right.
Logan and yeah, he's
We'll get him on.
yep, beautiful. He wants to be on. So
Does he?
yeah, he's
I love it.
a beauty, and he'll have stories for days, man. It's always interesting when he pops behind the microphone. So
Okay.
that'll be a good podcast for you.
What's his name? Sorry.
Logan Delaney
Logan Delaney. It's a great
Logan.
name. He's
Yep.
from here.
from here. Yep, and I think he played for Team Canada in some tournament in Mexico.
What? What
like
sport?
hockey? But I don't know what. I'm trying to. I remember he put the dots together about it once, and I don't know what tournament it was or anything like
Mexico.
that. But yeah, I think that was. Get him on. He'll explain it. He'll be
right.
able to put the.
Get him on next
Yeah,
week.
he'll be able to work it together, man.
I like that. That's funny. Mexico hockey. I didn't even know they had ice down there.
Yeah, old Josh Turk used to play pro down there, and he was in. I remember calling his games from the Iceman days, long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it. So many stories from around here. I remember you were telling me a guy last year at Cole Harbor Place during the playoffs. You went to a guy's house who had an incredible memorabilia room or like a
yes.
basement. And
Yeah.
who was that again?
Name's escaping me right now. And it's
You were showing me pictures, and I was
Yeah.
just like, how does he have these things?
the amount of memorabilia that we saw at his house was insane. And I don't mean just like, okay, I've got all kinds of jerseys or I've got all kinds of hockey cards. Well, first off, I was drawn to it because of his table hockey collection. And he had over 250 table hockey games. You know rod hockey?
250?
250.
Not the stand-up ones, just the little ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
okay.
well, not the big bubble,
I was gonna say, you can't
not
fit-
the big bubble
yeah,
games, but the 250 of these table hockey games, and that's what drew me into it. And then he said, "Well, it's the table hockey's one thing, but my collection goes much greater than that." So there was, it's game used sticks, game used jerseys, everything. This collection is wild. I'll get you the contact,
Yeah.
and hopefully you guys can go and do something there too.
I thought you showed me, like, maybe I could be
Yeah.
wrong here, but you said it was like a Guy Lafleur game used stick, maybe.
That's correct.
Is that what it was?
That's correct.
And I was just,
This is there. It's
how, you know?
it's wild. The amount of memorabilia, it was wild. And he's a big Patrick Waugh fan.
Oh, yeah?
So everything there's a room just dedicated to Patrick, and then he's got a section all dedicated to local hockey, and then it's and again, and just a basement just like this, completely filled. You wouldn't have the slightest clue about the amount of memorabilia he has
Wow.
just from driving by. Yeah. Oh, it was wild.
I love
and,
that
and
stuff.
a great guy, and fantastic to talk to, and it's driving me nuts that I'm forgetting his name right now.
Oh, it's all good.
But yeah,
That's crazy. Imagine the stories that come from that memorabilia. Like, how do you get a Guy Lafleur game used stick? Like, there's
Yeah.
a story behind that. 100%. A great story.
oh yeah, and it's I think I think he's got like a Patrick Waugh playoff jersey.
Colorado or Montreal?
Montreal. He doesn't have a lot of Colorado
No.
Patrick Waugh. No, that's a sore spot for him, I believe.
All right, that's fair. No
But-
worries. I get
but
it.
yeah,
I get it.
He I think Mark is his name.
Okay, cool.
Oh, hi, Mark. I would say that to him every day. He'd walk in just like The Room? You ever see that movie?
No.
The Room?
Yes, this is bad. Well, so bad it's good movie. And so the guy comes out onto the roof, and this I guess a character named Mark. He told me the whole story.
I did not hit her. I did not. I
Oh,
did
the room.
not.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
hi, Mark. And that was how I would.
That's with James Franco, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I did not.
And that's how I would greet Moffat at the office from a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You must have learned a lot from Eastlink then coming into this. Like, I remember our first time ever live streaming. I messed up. I panicked. Mark was like, don't worry, I got this. Just did it. Took over. And it's good. It's like little things like that help us. Because, like, not that you trained me, but you definitely helped with little knickknacks around the camera and, like, the wire. And now I'm going and training other people. So it's like it's a little spark of something that kind of grows. And that's everything that we're doing right now. Like some days me and Mark will sit here and we'll be like, okay, what are we doing right now that we're not doing that we should be doing? And we'll like, well, we'll write down ideas and then we'll look at other ideas on YouTube and then we'll, have meetings with other people that come in and see if that works. We'll do test shows. So it's like, because of right now with COVID, who knows? We could be traveling right now, but we're not. So you have to sit here and be creative and try to figure things out.
It's COVID in our field was a great equalizer because it basically put everyone on a level playing field for a while there, because you had, and you still do have, late night TV. They're doing stuff from their houses. They're not really back on the sets yet. There's still a lot of virtual interviews. And it was interesting to see late night trying to adapt to that style that YouTubers and vloggers have been doing so well for so long that it had gotten to a point where it really ate into the market share of watching it on, take for example, I don't know, Jimmy Fallon. Just throwing a name out there. Or James Corden. James Corden's a good example of that. I don't know anyone except for our director, Brett Smith, who's British and loves James Corden for that, that is going to be really into watching the full hour of James Corden.
Huh.
But if he does a spot, like his carpool karaoke when that was on, it would go on YouTube, and everyone just talk about the clip from YouTube. And it's completely different at this point now. So it's so strange to see how the landscape of media and entertainment really just flattened out.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too how even before this, late night shows, I don't remember ever watching a late night show on television.
No.
Like in the past couple of years, everything was always on YouTube, and it was clips, 10-minute clips, 5-minute clips.
Which, and again, and you know what, and I see something like that, and it is, I find it discouraging.
In what sense?
You will have, again, Jimmy Fallon. Okay, this is a guy that has probably 10 producers, 15 writers, 6 camera ops, director. The whole machine is behind these late night hosts. And then their best bits, they're going to take 5 minutes of the show and put it as trending on YouTube, when a guy like yourself is, you're in here creating content for the social media, for YouTube, podcasting, but all these resources are put into this little 5-minute clip, and it's being treated the same way. Yeah. I always felt that social media, they need to keep that for independent creators and keep that for people. But of course, the toothpaste is out of the tube on that one.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's what when I'll see NBC Universal having their content like featured on YouTube. It's like, well, you guys have a whole TV channel. But
I know.
That's a whole different talk of media.
Yeah. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. There's so many things there's so many ways to angle that. Like television television will always be television, but will it be television in 10 years? Yeah. Will people even be buying plasmas in 10 years? I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting way. The 5-minute clips, the attention span. Look at TikTok right now. More popular than Instagram because the videos are 5 seconds of girls dancing. And it's like that's what everyone wants to watch. It's such an adapt or die culture, and I kind of like it because it allows, I'm not going to say myself, but it allows people who put the work in to separate themselves from people that don't put the work in. And that's what I like about this is if you put the work in, you'll stand out. If you stand out, you'll be able to make a living. Yeah. And there's no hiding.
Big time.
Yeah. I really enjoy that aspect of it. And it's not even work. It's an obsession. Like everyone's like, how do you do this? It's like, it's not work. It's just I'm obsessed with it. Yeah. Like inside me, I'm a guy who I think Anthony Bourdain said this, and he's like, I'm just the guy who wants to sit down on a couch, eat pizza, drink beer, watch movies, smoke a little, whatever, and that's kind of who I am. I'll sit down, I'll watch TV, I'll drink beer. That's what I want to do. But at the end of the day, in the back of my head, I'm obsessed with this. If you're not going to be successful, you got to be obsessed.
How do you answer that question? And this comes up when someone says, "How do you do those interviews?" Do you get that question? Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you answer that?
It's a great question. it's not how do I do those interviews, it's how do I do those interviews with a certain people. Because if someone listens to an interview that I do, they'll ask, so how was Mavs? How was that interview? And I'll always answer it in the same way, in a sense of, I don't really call it an interview. I call it a conversation. I'm not an interviewer. I'm a conversationalist. I don't even know if that's a word.
Yeah.
But you look, there's no notes here. I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
Who do we have on the other day? I'm terrible with names too. The CBC reporter, Bruce Rainey, and he was talking about a lesson, how the biggest lesson he ever learned when it came to interviewing, came to talking to people, was just listening. And it took me probably 100 episodes to learn that. But I listen. That's all you got to do. You could be the worst talker in the world, but if you say 4 words, I'll catch 1 word and be able to rebuttal it into something else. And that's one thing I'm just getting better at. I'm still not great at it, but that's how I answer it. I just listen. I listen, and Mavs is a great talker, so he made my job easier. Sometimes people will come on, they're not the best talker. It was a little bit difficult, a little bit more difficult of a conversation, but that just comes with the skill set. 3 episodes right now. You get better. You listen. You go.
You get your reps in.
Get your reps in. That's just like riding a bike. You just keep going. That's why I get nervous when we don't have podcasts for a couple weeks, even though we haven't had that in a while. But that's why I love to have 2, maybe 3 3 a week. It's just, you get better. You keep working. You get more consistent. That's what I like about it. That's the work, and that's the separation of everyone else that's doing it. Because anyone can have a podcast.
Yeah.
You can have my mom can have everyone. Who doesn't have a podcast these days? Everyone has a podcast. But you got to be able to separate yourself in some way, and that's the drive. That's the obsession for me. It's a little bit of an egotistic thing for sure. Unfortunately, I'm working on it, but that's how I like to look at it. It's like, okay, this person's doing a podcast with this guest. How do I switch it up? Okay, let's get a guy who does jiu-jitsu on here. Who's having a guy that does jiu-jitsu on a podcast from around here? No one. Who's having a guy on here that's a comedian that's, working out of Montreal? No one. So I always observe what's going on around me, and then I take a shift to the left or to the right, and I go up. It's
yeah.
You know what I mean, kind of? I'm
Absolutely.
rambling.
No, but you nailed it. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Bottom line is having a conversation.
That's the key, man. That's the key. Having Bruce in,
guy.
That's a resource right there. That's a resource, man. I'm telling you. We had him in for 2 or 3 seasons, Legends of the Hall. And he was in studio interviewing Sport Hall of Famers from Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame for this show. And again, great show on the Eastlink On Demand.
Yeah.
But watching him able to control the room and interview and have a conversation it really was. And to go to a quarterback standpoint, you're watching a guy that has played in the league for 15 years run the field when you're watching him just do his thing.
Yeah.
And you're on the sidelines going, man, he makes this look easy. Yeah. Man, he's good. And the time he had Steve Armitage, who did CBC Sports. You remember that day? Yeah. That was a sellout in the truck because
what does that mean, a sellout in the truck?
Everyone from the office
wanted to be in the
came
truck.
out in the truck to watch these 2 guys talk.
Yeah.
And afterwards, it was a sellout in the green room because we all poured out of the truck and we all went in the green room and listened to Armitage and Rainey tell even more stories that weren't going to go on the air.
That's awesome.
And again, Armitage, a guy who's did the Olympics with CBC, Hockey Night in Canada forever, was from the South Shore, and Rainey has him on, and he our office is set so the lobby / green room is by the studio.
Yeah.
When I knew he was coming in, that day I took my laptop from downstairs and I set up in the green room, waiting for him to come in because I wanted to be one of the first guys to greet him when he came through the door. Because he was a voice of my childhood, and you'd always hear him on every sport. So we hear.
But that's the obsession. That's what I'm talking about. That's the I'll do anything to be in this position.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that was that was a great day. That was a great day at the office. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's.
And it's little things like that just what more do you want?
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. That's crazy. Yeah. I love doing that. I love putting yourself in a position to succeed like that.
Oh, yeah.
Just seeing cool things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, for me, there's nothing better.
And it was, and that was his voice, just as his voice carried. It's like, holy shit, CBC Sports Saturday's coming around the corner. And you wouldn't remember CBC Sports Saturday, I don't think.
I've heard about it.
You've heard about it, but yeah, that was a...
But I see in your eyes right now just how pumped you are just talking about it. But that's what I mean.
They'd show they'd show 10-pin bowling from Sault Ste. Marie, and I'm all over it, man. Jesus, that's every sport on the world was going on CBC Sports Saturday.
Yeah.
Back when that was a massive deal. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
How did you find the broadcast from Hockey Night, or no, I guess the playoffs this year? They had a new panel. They had Anthony Stewart. They had Bieksa. They always had Ron McLean. Friedman was a legend as always, and they had a couple other people. How'd you find it? Because some people were from home. Kelly Rudy.
Yep. You know what? Again, making the most of what you've got.
Yeah.
Making the most of your personalities and just letting them talk. Getting a microphone in front of them, putting the camera there, and letting them talk. And in the bubble was really fun because you could tell directors, producers, camera ops all looked at this as the playground because they had all the room to try out new things. They with putting cameras, just following play, doing everything. This is all stuff that if there's fans in the stands, they can't do half these stuff. But they're able to
I see
try,
what you're saying.
they're able to try all kinds of
What did you notice? I didn't notice anything. What did you notice that they tried?
Just some different follow cameras,
Cool.
just different switching, all kinds of stuff, man.
Wicked.
Yeah.
That's a vet eye right there to seeing that things.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
You're able to kind of get an idea. They had a playground. They were able to do some new stuff.
I always thought it would be cool. Like, how in the NFL they have the camera that's over the field. I thought that'd be cool for hockey maybe. I know like they could flip the puck up and might hit the camera, but like that'd be a cool little bird's eye view angle, something like that.
That'd be fantastic.
That
would be and again, well, that goes to the influence of video games towards sports now, because that camera from behind in the XFL to behind the NFL now, that all comes from just playing Madden.
Really?
That's where the inspiration of it comes from. So you're playing NHL 21 and you've got that view going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's straight EA Sports, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you're gonna see
and that's catching into the kids that play. That's like okay, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, like you're watching. I think the ESPN did a Skycam game. They did a whole game where Skycam was main camera, and it was wild. It was wild to watch for the NFL.
Oh, NFL.
For the NFL. Yeah.
Cool.
And again, it's just like playing Madden. Just like playing Madden, or as I would call NFL 2K5, because it's a much better game.
Okay. What system do you use? Xbox or PS3 too?
I got both.
Do you?
The Xbox One, the PS4 on the go right now.
Isn't there like a new console that just came out?
They're coming out in a couple weeks.
What is it?
So there's the Xbox One S and the PlayStation 5.
Are you on the market for one or no?
I don't know.
How much are they?
I think PlayStation 5 is $499.
Is that reasonable or is that over?
I mean, that's about baseline for a console at the start of the generation.
Okay.
Xbox One S though is kind of getting me on. You can pay it over 24 months, and it includes your Xbox Live Game Pass. So it's like $30 a month, and I got Xbox Game Pass now for $18. So I'm like maybe, but again, I haven't played a lot of games in the last little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that those companies probably did well the past 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Like I know one of my family members bought, I think, an Xbox back in March or April. Just, like who isn't, because they're bored, nothing to do in the house, staying.
There's times where the Xbox became a Netflix machine though too. So
what do you mean?
It was. Hey, I could play games on this, or I'll just watch YouTube or Netflix.
You can do that on these things?
Yeah, man.
I'm such an. I should know these things.
No, it's all
That's
right,
crazy.
Man. You're don't get caught up in this game, man.
I love them though.
It takes you. It takes.
When I was younger, I used to. What was I big into? NCAA football.
Yeah.
And I loved just getting the quarterback going, pressing A, and then they just flings it to the guy.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And now NCAA football, they haven't made that game in years.
Why not?
Because of the lawsuit from the player likeness. So there's no the last NCAA football game was 2014.
That's probably the one I played.
And and it's fantastic. And every year, people are just clamoring for college football to come back as a video game. But because of the lawsuits and the players not getting paid and all this stuff, I think Ed O'Bannon was a player for UCLA, and he saw his likeness in a March Madness game in '98 and sent a letter to EA Sports to say, all right, you're using my likeness. That's me on the court. Where's my cut? And that started a lawsuit, and then that's kind of the can of worms was opened.
Back in
And-
1998.
back in those days.
Wow.
So and
I
they
don't
took-
blame these kids.
Yeah, well, it's the whole getting paid part. I don't know.
What? How do you
That's
feel about it?
Oh, it's a whole. So I don't know, man.
Do you think they should be getting paid or no?
I mean, it's
You don't have to say. but-
Yeah,
You don't wanna get into
there's a lot. There's a lot of that's way. Yeah, I don't know. Like the NCAA, there's a lot of stuff going on in the CHL right now. There's a lot. There's all kinds of.
Yeah.
See, who knows, man? Who knows?
One
It's-
story I like about that Fab Five. You see that e-cig
Absolutely, 30 for 30.
30 for 30.
Mhm.
Jalen Rose at Subway. Next to the Subway, there's a sports store with his
Mhm.
jersey in the window.
Yep.
But he can't afford a sub
I know.
at the Subway.
I know, man. And
And
it's,
that,
and I'd hear it from guys from the Hurricanes and the Rainmen, talking about their experience in the NCAA. And I remember one guy talked about talking about a team making it next round. Like, oh, cool, they got food stipends for another week. And I was like, oh man, that's so.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't been in that situation, man.
It would be tough. Especially, it would be tough for those players that know they're,
Mhm. That
they're the
they're-
real deal.
They're generating profits
Yeah.
for the school, but then you'd also take a look at the 16 other sports that aren't generating a lot of profit, where they fall into it. The NCAA.
That's a good point.
So, yeah.
Who we have on? We had I should stop saying this because I'm terrible with names. But we had a gentleman on here that plays for Notre Dame hockey, Michael
Okay.
O'Leary, and he was talking about how the football team in that school generates the profits for every other sports team in that school. So I was like, how does do you meet with the football guys? You guys eat in the same cafeteria? And he's like, no. They have their own separate everything, own
Yeah.
separate gym, own separate cafeteria, own separate classroom, because they generate all the money for the school. That's where the scholarship money comes from. That's where everything comes from.
That's-
So I never thought of that. Like, it's hard to grasp. You're like, that's how big football is at some of these colleges.
Yeah, that's
It's incredible.
again. That's the Fighting Irish, man. That's like that. That's
Rui.
that's the money for the entire university, not just athletics, man.
Yeah.
That's
The big
Yeah.
guys are making that money too. Like the
Exactly.
guys that sit in the office. I'm
Yeah.
sure that's some of their money too.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of college football coaches that are the highest paid public employees in their state, because some of these universities are public institutions.
way.
Yeah, and you will have. I'm not gonna. I don't want to say a name of a coach
Yeah.
that is in a private university as opposed to public. But yeah, there's a lot of.
Hmm.
You'll see if you ever look it up, you'll see it's shocking.
I wonder how some of these coaches feel about that. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder, like, they're sitting there with their $1 million bank accounts. It's like, oh, this kid, he doesn't make any. I wonder how they feel about it. What the
They're-
general consensus is
Yeah.
of it.
They're caught in a situation where they're, they-
Yeah.
they can't. If they've helped the kid, the NCAA comes in and gives the kid a violation, and the kid's going to get in trouble. The school's going to get in trouble. It's
Yeah.
and I do hope they can evolve that system, evolve
Yeah.
the NCAA, and
Yeah.
I know it looks like the process is moving forward. With
Does
that.
it? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
in a couple of states.
There was another story, I think, coming out of Duke basketball. There was a player, he was frustrated at practice, and he threw the ball in the stands, and Duke's head coach was like, what's wrong? What's going on? And he goes, my mom can't afford to turn on her lights. That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here this guy was like a star. I think it was Anthony. Might have been Anthony Davis. He played for Duke.
Escapes me right now. I think yeah.
It might have been. I don't know. Couldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe not. And he's just like, that's what's wrong. My mom can't turn her lights on right now. That's what's frustrating me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's true. That's a reality for a lot of players.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about.
It is
Crazy
it
to think
is
about.
wild.
How could you focus on sports knowing that your family at home can't keep the lights on?
Mhm.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Something should change. Anyways,
Mm.
what are you doing the rest of the day?
Rest of the day, gonna make sure that the intermission stuff for Saturday is good, because I sent that in this morning. Probably set some stuff up for a pregame tonight, just kind of a video with to kind of hype up our upcoming Q games
Nice.
on Eastlink. Put that on the old Twitter.
Yeah.
And get caught up on some G1 New Japan Wrestling. And Moffat knows that. My boy Yujiro Takahashi picking up a win this morning. That's the first thing he says to me. But yeah, it's a big weekend for New Japan G1 Climax.
I'm liking the sweater.
Got my gimmick on.
Love it.
That's the finals this week. Ibushi is going to take on the winner of the B block, which will be decided tomorrow morning. live in Japan, and then Sunday at 3 a.m. the whole thing goes down. So
Me and Mark share the same YouTube channel, like
Yeah.
the High Button. So like his searches come up on ours, and I'll look like at night. And it's
Yeah.
just like Japan wrestling on our
Good.
recommended video. So
Good.
I'll catch myself sometimes just watching it. It's
Good.
crazy.
Good.
It's insane.
you're into it now.
I'm
You're seeing
double.
it. You're seeing it.
It's forced
You're-
to be.
You're being exposed to it. That's the main thing. Yeah. So
It's cool. It's interesting.
I'll
The
tell you.
fans are into it.
Yep. If you get him watching some Kota Ibushi.
Oh yeah.
What's
Yeah,
so good about Kotobushi?
Kota Ibushi is just a top talent. He's fantastic. He's kind of silent, but he lets his wrestling do his talking. And yeah, he's a high spot machine, man. You were gonna see him do exciting stuff. Absolutely athletic, the whole package with Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll look it up.
Yep.
The highlights that I'm seeing now are the matches. There's fans in the stands. Is there
Yes.
fans? So those there's fans in Japan right now in
Yep.
the stands.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to scream in your heart. So
What does that mean?
No, they're not allowed to. No verbal anything. Just have to
Yeah.
So it's
There's
silent
clapping.
clapping.
Yeah.
Why is
clapping a
that?
lot.
For
the corona. So they're all got the mask on. But and
Okay.
again, this comes from the first time the "scream in your heart" phrase came out was from theme park roller coaster in the middle of the COVID thing. They wanted to just remind patrons due to the COVID protocols
Yeah.
that screaming for a long period of time could project the virus. So
Oh.
everyone has got the masks on and scream in your heart.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. That's a good saying. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
And I think I don't know if they've got the same thing at the queue too. It seems like it's pretty quiet there.
Just clapping.
Yeah, just clapping as well. So
Do you have to wear your mask in the seat?
yes,
Do you?
yes, masks in the seat. They bring your drinks to you.
Oh, do
So,
they?
Yeah,
How do you just pull it down, drink?
you got your app and they come down and I don't know if you got a straw or who knows.
2020.
Who knows, man? Someone just keeps ordering, has the straw next to them, says, "Have another." Sir, we're cutting things off at the end of the second. I'll have another.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That was one thing that hit me hard when I found out. Like Mem Cup hit me hard. I was at the games,
Mm.
but you can't have a beer because you're up in the media booth. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. I had to make that switch from fan to business,
Yeah.
and I remember that hit me at the Mem Cup. It's like I see all my buddies, Section 24, all having a couple beer. I'm like, damn it, whatever. I got to work, I guess.
Yep.
That's a thing. All right, it's all right though.
But you pop down to Section 24 for a couple minutes and maybe
Yeah, say what's up.
have a sip.
I remember back we were at the Telus Cup right before the Mem Cup last year, and all the parents from the Max were at one of these games at the Mem Cup, and we went down, saw them at intermission, and they were all buying beers, and they just kind of like we had the media passes on, so they're just like, all right, boys, just stand back here, and we kind of hid behind everyone, just had a couple
Yeah.
keys right back there.
You just
gotta
yes,
yes,
take the media
yeah.
pass and you
and
slide
light it on
in,
in, you're good
and,
to go.
all
But at
right.
the same time, I want to show the media pass
Yeah.
to show High Button Sports
Yeah.
is in here. You know what I mean? But no, that's good stuff. I hope to get into a couple Moosehead games. My buddy got hired as the dentist on the team,
Okay.
so he's doing Bobby Orr's mouth guard the other
Nice.
day.
Nice. I had a former Moosehead dentist working on my teeth. It was
Oh yeah.
he showed up and he's like, "Look at this!" And there's his Memorial Cup ring. I'm like, "All
He
right,
got a
man."
ring?
Yeah, he got a ring. He got a ring. for
Wow.
it. So
I wonder if my guy will get a
Yeah.
ring if they win. That's sick.
yeah.
And he got
That's-
tickets, but he's on call,
Oh
so the tickets are just there. So that's kind of our in right now.
yeah. And again, it's being a dentist for a hockey team, you probably got a lot of work. You
Yeah,
Probably.
like I don't even know how it will work. Like if a guy's teeth are missing, does he operate in the room? Like is there a thing in the Metro Center, or
I think they'd get them prepped
and then go
and
to
then
the,
they fix them up the next day. I don't know.
yeah.
You hockey players and your fake teeth, they all pop out. You're
got
all
a
right
couple.
though, right? You got a couple.
This one's fake,
Yeah.
and I got one right back here that's fake.
Yeah. And that was hockey.
Yeah, it was a high stick from Andrew Wigington.
okay.
Second last junior game of my career.
And that was the bloody chiclets.
The
Popped
bloody
out at that
chiclets,
time.
yeah. I didn't even notice till I took my mouth guard out, and then I looked in my mouth guard to like spray it down to fresh it,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What's that white thing in there?" And it was jammed in, and I had to like pop it out, and then the rest of the game, I just
You just got your tongue in that little hole going, what the?
Yeah.
Oh, what the?
well, I remember it was killing me because a nerve was showing as
Oh.
you're skating around.
Mm.
Even though like there's a mouth guard, there's no wind, but the nerve still hits the mouth guard and the water. So I remember
Yeah.
just skating with like just could barely pay attention to the game because I was in so much pain. But it's like second last junior game of your career, you're gonna play.
Yeah. You're You're gonna suck it up. You're gonna be a good Canadian kid.
Yeah, I
and
know.
You're gonna go for it.
But after I got it fixed, and the guy, he didn't fix the whole tooth. He just patched the nerve.
Mhm.
So for like a couple months, I was just walking around with half a tooth. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Nice little gash on my lip.
Yeah.
I was like, I finally look like a hockey
You-
player. It took
you-
me till the end of it, but I finally look like one.
Two games
Yeah,
left.
yeah, exactly.
No time like the present to lose a couple teeth. Thanks for that. Thanks for that high stick, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Exactly. I
I got one here, but that's just from poor dental hygiene. No high stick whatsoever. So I got a floss, kids.
Oh, flossing's the key to it.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Apparently, like down the line when you get older, you got to floss.
Yeah.
That helps. Gingivitis, I think, is the word I'm
Yeah.
trying to use.
Yep, that's the one.
Prevents gingivitis, flossing.
The horrible gum disease, gingivitis.
The one kid I remember in junior high, he came to school dressed as Mr. Listerine.
Mhm, the
Probably,
Listerine bottle.
probably one of the best outfits at the time. And I remember he came to the junior high at lunchtime with it, and we were playing basketball at lunch. And he's the guy who dressed up. He was a good basketball player. He played the game in the suit.
Proper thing, man. You got it.
It's like, hey, we need a fifth. You win? And he's like, yeah, I can't take it off. But also, this guy's playing basketball in a Listerine.
You have one chance to play basketball as a Listerine bottle. You seize the day. You make it happen. So,
This was probably 15 years ago. We're talking about it now. You
Yeah.
made a memory. It
exactly.
was crazy. What junior high did you go to?
I went to Malcolm Monroe
In Cape Breton.
in Cape Breton. Yeah, and I lived basically on the street over, so I went home for lunch every day.
You were that
It's
kid.
great.
So did
I
you
was
have
there.
friends trying to come over to your house to like get food from your house?
No, that a
'Cause
few
we had
times.
it- we had it, yeah?
A few times now I think about it, but yeah.
Because
no.
we had that kid that lived next door, and we were all friends with him. And we'd go to his house and we'd eat all of his food, and then his parents would be pissed at us because
Yeah.
we'd go over and eat his food.
I'll tell you, and it was there was a lot of times. Oh, and the hot diggity dogger.
What's that?
I had that going so much. It was a toaster for hot dogs. Oh, it was fantastic. It was a big, and you could toast the bun. You can
All
bring
right,
it up.
Let's look it up.
Bring up the hot diggity dogger. If it's and
Wait,
this is I love this thing. We got it in like
Oh, for God's sakes.
19. I think we got it in the 80s.
You got to bear with me, man.
And oh yeah, don't worry. You don't got Jamie from Joe Rogan show to bring it up, eh?
no, I don't.
Jamie,
We're
bring that up. Yeah, the where we at? Oh yeah, the hot diggity dogger. Got it in the 80s.
The
And
hot.
I was telling my parents that when this thing finally dies, we have to bury it because it was that. There it is. There it is.
What the hell?
Don't just toast the bun, it toasts the whole thing.
Right down there, over to the left. The
This
white
one?
one. The white one. That's my baby.
Where do you put the
That's
dog?
my baby. Right in the middle. That's my baby right there.
Oh my god! And then you put the buns
Put
down
the buns
here.
in there. Oh yeah. Lot of junior high lunches were the hot diggity dogger.
Are they still making these?
I've seen hot dog toasters
Yeah.
before.
They are. You get it on. Oh,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at that.
Yeah. If you want, that is a prime hockey watching equipment right there. Because you throw those on at intermission,
Yeah.
you are good. So yeah.
Same with like baseball.
Yep.
Look at that.
That's.
That just blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
Is this a Cape Breton thing? Because I've never seen this anywhere else.
I don't know. It's a.
Do a lot
might
of people in Cape Breton have it in their kitchen?
Well, I got recommended by a Cape Bretoner to our family, so yeah. The hot diggity dogger, bud. Oh, it changes the game. And the hot dogs come out nice too. You like
Toasted, like nice. Like I like a little char on mine.
yeah, well then you would be a hot diggity dogger.
All right.
As opposed to, some people boil their hot dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. That's a little suspect.
Speaking of Cape Breton kitchens,
Yeah.
we had Gentile on, the captain of Cape Breton
Derek.
last year. Derek.
Gentile, yes.
Gentile, sorry. And he was telling us stories about how when he was the captain and like, Cape Breton's his hometown team and all
Mhm.
that good stuff. And he's just like, when I was the captain, like, we got tickets and my parents had a skybox. And he's like, after every home game, I'd go back to my parents' place. And in the kitchen, there would just be like 20 of our family friends. And we'd just sit there and have a Cape Breton kitchen party. And goes,
Absolutely.
it was the best time of my life. And then Heinem got traded to Cape Breton. And then Hyman got to experience these kitchen parties of like fans, families, and some of the boys would come over. And he was just like, by none up to this point, playing for my childhood team, being the captain of my childhood team, having friends and family in attendance, and then having everyone come back to the kitchen. Just the best times of his life, he said. It was really cool.
Belly, we had a friend, and his parents had a beautiful, beautiful house in high school. We all hung out in the kitchen. If we weren't playing video games,
yeah,
everyone was in the kitchen.
yeah.
It was, and again, it's like a moth to the flame. Everyone goes to the kitchen. Have you been down to Cape Breton for a kitchen party? And again, it's not even advertised as a kitchen party. It's just, hey, we're all going over. It's a party here. It's a party here, and the living room's going to be beautiful, and you've got 25 people in the kitchen.
What is it about? To answer your question, I've been to a kitchen party, but never in Cape Breton.
Okay.
What is it about the kitchen that makes people go?
Food's there.
Table and counter space to put beers.
Yeah.
The food is there.
Yep.
There's a lot of refreshments there in a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It's good lighting. There's usually a window there.
And it's not too loud.
It's not too loud.
I mean, you're going to have a lot of people there, but it's like, you know, living room, you're going to have music, you're going to have the TV on.
Yeah, because in a living room,
people
everyone's sitting. I like how everyone's kind of standing. You're moving. Let's say you and I are talking for like 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to switch up conversations, go to this guy standing in this corner. It's a great way to socialize.
And this is the thing. My go-to in the kitchen is I find the corner of the counter, and I used to do it. I don't know if I could still pull it off. I'd pop up like Bret Hart on the second rope.
Yep.
I'd pop up and I'd sit on the counter.
Bird's eye view. You're kind of looking at everything.
Exactly. And again, it's because I'm short. So
years of experience, you've learned little tricks.
I've learned. Okay, head to the corner, pop up on the counter, sit there. All right, cool. Oh, that's the best spot. That's the kitchen spot right there.
I feel like every story that we're bringing up just involves people gathering. That's how much we miss it. It's just everything is just people coming together. It's like one day we'll have it back.
Without. Hey, you can only have 10. What?
Yeah.
You can only have 15. We're putting limits. You know what? And again, I think I have to respect. Everyone's trying their hardest, but there's also a part where I have to respect all the regulations. It's the first time people are going through this, and there's a bit of trial and error. As I burp. There's a little bit of, they're making it up as they go along as well. But again, everyone's trying their hardest to make it. We're just trying to get through this thing.
We will.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone's gonna get back together soon. I was half expected at one point someone was gonna write on Twitter like, Roger Square, 11 o'clock, be there, and just see what happens. But I don't want to. I'm not.
Yeah, no one wants to be that guy.
I'm not manifesting that into the universe. It'd be interesting to see.
It'll happen. It'll be back soon enough. Kitchen parties will happen. It's going to be a long winter, good winter, hopefully. I know it's going to be a long winter for us, but, hopefully, like I said, people are going to be able to gather back together. But like I said at the very beginning of this, when there was no sports, you will never hear me complain again about sports. Fans or no fans. For that, I think, what was it, like maybe 3-4 months? It was nothing.
There was nothing.
I'll never complain.
No.
Never.
It was a nice look back because they'd show all the retro stuff and you'd see some old footage. But now
I'm watching Bobby Smith on Sportsnet play for the Habs.
Yeah,
oh, that guy's good.
Oh yeah,
you know
oh
what
my
I mean?
God, Bobby's fitting in there. Man. Bobby's doing all right. Yeah.
But it was a great time to look back at sports history for sure. Yeah. And like you also said, it was an even playing field for everyone. Mm-hmm. It made everyone take a step back and reassess and go, okay, how can I compete at this level? It's cool. It was a really, eye-opening experience. I'm talking like it's over. It's not over. But
we're
got to think.
We keep moving forward, man.
Keep moving forward.
That's the goal, man. That's
never give up.
Can't just isolate on it. I mean, well, I don't know. They say isolate. I don't know. We just keep thinking for yourself and make it happen.
I like it.
Yeah.
Landed on that.
Sounds good, Belly.
You got anything else to say? You got advice for the kids? You always got good advice,
Good
Mavs.
advice.
You always have good advice.
Good advice. Yeah, I mean, just I always say keep your head on a swivel, right, Mark? I do say keep your head on a swivel, and I guess that works. But yeah, keep the head on the swivel. It's just have fun.
Keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Exactly.
I love it.
And what's your advice today? What do you got?
Oh man, I'm so mentally drained. I don't have any. Just keep doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Even if you're not succeeding right now, keep trying.
Okay.
Have fun.
And
'Cause if you're not having fun, you're not going to do it.
And before we go, I'm just gonna say, last podcast, after I listened to it, and I heard you put "Lovely Day" by Bill Withers at the end of it.
Yeah.
I popped. I absolutely popped because that's a great jam. So I'm looking forward to what track selection comes this
Oh
time.
man, the pressure's on.
Pressure's
now,
on
Mark,
now.
eh?
Pressure's on now. And yeah, "Lovely Day." There may be
It's hard to top that.
I did, there is probably, if you look on demand, I don't know what game, but you will see me singing that to break on a game after karaoke.
We'll do some research. We'll get
Yep.
Mark to do some research. We'll find it.
You'll find it.
All right.
Or you can just reach out to Bill Barnaby because I'm pretty sure he's got the recording. Our audio guy.
There we go. All right. Work's done, but now we got to go back to work. You know what I mean? It's like this is work, not really, but now we got to leave and we got to go do more stuff. I love it though.
Oh yeah.
Keep working. All right, we're out. Mavs, once again, thanks for coming on. Everyone tuning in, everyone listening. I appreciate the support. Our live streams are going to be starting tomorrow, so make sure to tune into those onto our YouTube channel. And yeah, have fun, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel. We're out. Peace.